Hello indie game fans, I managed to find more new and innovative indie games to get excited about, with our usual lot of games on Kickstarter that I think are worth supporting, with a must-play number 1 if I do say so myself. Let's begin with SpiderHeck, a game that instantly sold me within 3 seconds of viewing the trailer, since it's a multiplayer-focused arena action game where you play as spiders wielding laser swords. Of course, there's more to that, adding guns into the mix, and even a grappling hook-like web swinging ability, all contributing to the chaos and fun of one of these types of games. For those without friends, there's a whole single-player mode as well, which should be fun if the AI holds up, making this have quite the potential. I did actually come across Mahokenshi when doing my research for the roguelite deck builder video, and while it is a deck builder, it isn't quite in the same vein as the games I showed off there. Rather, it's a turn-based tactics or strategy title where your character is moving across the world, getting into fights with demons and enemies, which is where the cards come into play. As a fan of deck builders, it's always interesting to see this being implemented into other genres, where the art in this is good, but the footage captured for this trailer does look a little choppy, but a title of interest for sure. This video is once again brought to you by Big Farm Story, a wonderfully chill farming sim that has quite the classic setup. Take over your grandfather's old farm and restore it to its former glory in an adventure that is cozy and charming. The developers want me to tell you that they are currently running a sale on Steam at 25% off, so if you are on the fence about this, perhaps it's time to pick it up. Since launch, there have been a number of patches and updates that generally addressed most of the early issues that people had with the game, where this developer did even run a charity event, raising funds to plant 10,001 trees, so there's your nice story of the day. While I did just mention Akita King Pig Things Pink in my video on upcoming Metroidvania games, which you can watch via the link in the top right, I do have to give it a special mention once again since its Kickstarter campaign is currently live, at about 50% funded with half the campaign to go. So indie game fans, you know what to do, please support this if you're interested in the project. I love the hand-drawn look of this, where interestingly, the developers have catered for 2-player co-op in the game design as well. Pretty decent character designs, taking inspiration from Wonder Boy, Shantae, Hollow Knight and Akira Toriyama, definitely making it a title of interest.
Come on, where did I put it? Aha. Whew, let's go.
One of the most interesting adventure games in development is the Bookwalker, a game where you play as a thief with the ability to literally dive into books, forced to use your powers to steal relics and artifacts for your clients, all in a bid to regain your ability to write. First off, I love the isometric camera angle and the look of this game, being on par with the best CRPGs out there, but it's an adventure game in that you're exploring, using items and solving puzzles in order to get to the items that you want. There seems to be a first-person waking world portion where some of the solutions can only be found there, having you bring these key items into the book, but I do love it due to the idea alone. An impressive action platformer is Starfetchers Episode 1, where two low-life thugs have set their eyes on taking down the #1 most notorious gangster in town, with a prologue demo on Steam that has been received very well and is currently on Kickstarter. This trailer, while not showing much of the gameplay, does have some sick beats, so do enjoy.
Rather get gone, we on for gone. Termination, truly quit lit hit, never cry, rather die, never say I never say. Just give me roll, let's trust, direct lust, let now we fed thrust, combust and rust, rest. While they dig in the past, never say I'm very last. Grit breed, particularly if you like a thrill, really chilly, bloody. Every glimpse into the future, fast moving, spike, tingle, and rarely ever humor. Rather get gone, we on for gone. Termination, truly quit lit hit, never cry, rather die, never say I never.
Tandem, A Tale of Shadows is perhaps one of the most stereotypical puzzle platformers in that it has two main mechanics, light and shadow, as well as the switching of perspectives between top-down and side-scrolling platformer. However, you do play as a dynamic duo of a young girl and a teddy bear sent to solve the disappearance of a famous magician, having a decent look which makes it of interest.
In a spooky manner, follow Emma and Fenton, a magic tandem, using light and shadows, looking for Thomas Kane, the missing son of famous magicians. In Tandem, you will switch between Emma and Fenton in 2 dimensions. Emma needs to create the correct shadows with her lantern, so Fenton can walk on them and reach the crystal. Shadows can be created in many ways, as each chapter offers fun new ways to solve puzzles. And of course, Emma and Fenton working together is the only way to progress. Many challenges and dangers await our 2 friends, and their progress will be complicated by strange enemies. They will also be faced with puzzles requiring speed and dexterity. At the end of each chapter, they will use everything they have learned to contend with a massive, horrifying creature. Emma and Fenton will have to travel through 5 bizarre areas of the mansion to find out more about Thomas's disappearance. Will you find Thomas Kane and solve the mystery?
My goodness, when I talk about innovative indie games and titles that come out of left field to surprise me, I'm talking about titles like Dredge, not the best name, but appropriate for what you are doing. It's a fishing adventure, so that already got my attention since I do love fishing in games, but mixes that with a central mystery and sinister undertones since the ocean is vast, dark, and scary. Love the idea and concept, with various upgrades for your ship, a whole Tetris-like inventory system, and even things that go bump in the night, making me very curious even if I don't particularly love horror games. One of the most amazing looking action-adventure RPGs revealed recently is Asterigos, looking really great and is of interest.
People said that Aphis developed an advanced and brilliant civilization through miraculous magic. But over time, their arrogance and greed took a toll. They offended the gods and disasters fell. The City of Stars became no more. But I am not afraid.
The main character does look a little bit like Aloy, and while the character model isn't as detailed, when in action from the behind the back camera, the game does look pretty good. It's a high fantasy entry with its share of giant bosses, although I don't think it's quite a Souls-like, but a great looking game nonetheless to look forward to.
Yet danger and ruthless enemies lash out from where they hide. And unspeakable evils lurk within. They might fight me, capture me, break me, but no one can stop me. father. I will find you!
One of the best looking titles in recent memory is Hero.EXE, having some fantastic hand-drawn art and is of interest because it's a Mega Man Battle Network-like.
I won't lose! Take this!
It has been many years since we got another entry in that series, where on the indie front, the most recent great example is One Step from Eden, where I'm always happy to see another entry in the space. The real-time grid-based combat looks excellent, which, blended in with the deck building aspect, should introduce this style of game to a whole new generation.
Hope you're ready!
Add to that a whole visual novel element and 4 playable characters, each with their own unique campaigns, and you have the whole package, where it's currently on Kickstarter and will have no trouble getting funded, but do check it out for the rewards, taking the #1 spot. For more deck builder titles, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.
Let's see just how strong you are.